All right, ladies and gentlemen and the programmers, we're going to do lesson 2, part 4 for the little crab. And what are the two names of this type of statement? So we have this if at world edge. What are the two things that we could call that? What method call only happens if the condition is true? Okay, there's two method calls, turn 17 and move. Which one only happens if this condition is true? Okay. What method call always runs? So again, we have this one and this one. Which one always runs? And then what do you call the stuff in the parentheses? Okay, so you have your if and you have your parentheses. Now, this is kind of a trick question because the answer is not parameter, because this is not a method call. So this stuff is not a parameter. It starts with the letter C. See if you can figure out what that is. And inside these parentheses, it has to have what kind of data type. So at world edge, parentheses is a method, and it has to have what data type. Okay, see if you can answer. See if you can answer that. That's a tricky one. You might need my help. Ask me help in class on that one. Okay, so if I were to change it, so notice what I did here. I changed the condition here, and I just put true. Okay, what do you think this code will do? Okay, so write it down. Answer your question, like kind of guess first, and then try it and see what it actually does. Okay, so I am going to do it with you. So we're going to go over here, and I'm going to cut at world edge right there. I'm going to go Control X. Notice I left my parentheses. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do slash last and press Control V. And so I can just copy and paste it back. And now it's an illegal start of expression because it doesn't have a condition in there, a Boolean. Okay, so I'm going to put true. So is true sometimes true, or is true always true? True is always true. So let's see what happens with the little crab now. So I add the crab in, and if I hit run, so notice he always moves, and now he always turns because that condition is always true. Okay? All right, so let's see. What do you think this code will do? So if I change it to false, what do you think it's going to do this time? So answer that question and try it, okay, and see what it does. And then what do you think this code will do? And try this one as well. If 5 is greater than 2. Well, the question is, how often is 5 greater than 2? Okay, and then try this one. What do you think this code will do? And by the way, make sure you answer that on your line paper notes. What do you think this code will do? 5 is greater than 10. So 5 is greater than 2. 5 is greater than 10. How often is 5 greater than 10? What would the computer see in the inner parentheses? What would the computer see in the outer? Okay, so the question is, what does the computer see right here? So when it looks at this, what does it actually see? And the answer is, it's just going to see the 4, right? So it's just going to pretend like there's a 4 in there. Now, if we look, when it looks in here, what does it actually see? Well, we have 2 plus 2 is 4. How often is 5 greater than 4? Always. Okay, so what it actually sees in there is it just does the calculation and says, oh, that is true. Okay, so like, oh, this is true, and so then whatever would be in here, it would do it, if that makes any sense. What does the compiler really see inside the parameters? I'm going to hit pause real quick. I think, actually, I'm going to hit escape. That's supposed to say condition, because that's not, those aren't parameters, that's the condition. Let me hit slideshow. Okay, what does it see inside here? Well, we ask it at world edge. That's a method call, but that returns a true or false. So what is it going to see inside here? It doesn't really see at world edge. It sees the result of at world edge, which is going to either be a true or the false. Okay, so we tried a couple of different things. We tried all this. Let's put our code back to what we had here, and then answer these questions. And see if you need help on any of these things, please ask me for help in class.